Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, in the previous video, we have understood that how to build the relationship cardinality, filter flow, and why it is important to pick up the primary key, and how to hide a foreign key from the report view, because you now know the consequences. Okay, now let us build the entire model. If you try to focus yourself, you'll be able to build it without watching this video. Okay, you can try it. If you want, you can just try it. Just stop it over here and try it yourself. Try to figure out the primary keys and the foreign keys, and bam, just build the relationship and move forward. Okay, anyways, if you want to just have a look at it, that how I am building it, let's have a look. So the relationship is already exist between territory, sales, and returns from the previous clip. So now we are going to talk about the rest of the queries. Now over here we have the customers table. What do we have common between customers and sales? Okay, so when I'm asking something to you, just pause the video and just look around that can you find the answer for the same. So over here, if you see, we have the customer key that is common over here. Customer key in the customers table is primary. Customer key in the sales table is foreign. So I'm going to pick up the customer key, which is the primary one, and dropping it onto the customer key here. And this will build a relationship between these two tables. Let me just hover over to see what we can get. Yes, over here we have this. Great. Okay. And then we don't have anything common between customers and returns. So I'm not going to build a relationship between them. We can't help it. Okay. Such kind of situation happens in the real life scenario also. And in that case, suppose I would be needing data related to how much return quantity we have received from one particular customer. We can't do it. Our model do not support. Why? Because the data is not sufficient. So it means the lack is not at your end as the developer of the report. The lack is at the time of capturing the data. So you should let your client know, you should let your boss know, you should let your company know that the data is not sufficient. Okay, start capturing the data, start putting the name of the customer in front of the returns that they are giving you. So that way you'll be able to analyze the data related to that, how many returns you have got from a particular client. It happens, there are a lot of defaulters. Okay, they buy the product, they temper around with it, and then they simply return it. So the cost involved. So how you can find out those defaulters. So through this you'll be able to do it. So you need data, you can't help it. Okay, so the relationship between customers, sales is done. We don't have with returns. What about calendar and sales? Now this is tricky. Have a look. In the calendar we have the date field, which is good. In the sales table we have two date fields, order date and stock date. I'll simply pick up the date from the calendar table and drop it onto the date, which is an order date, into the sales table. So it will be there. The relationship will be there. Now, this is what I'm really looking for, the relationship between date and order date. But the question comes in, can we have multiple relationships between two tables? The answer is yes. But then you will ask, can we have multiple active relationship between two tables? The answer is no. Okay, you can have one active relationship at one time. So I'll just pick up the date from the calendar table. I'm going to drop it onto the stock date here on the sales table. And you will notice a dotted line will come. There it is. Here it is. Correct? A dotted line. It means it is an inactive relation. So anytime you want to make this one active, you have to make the previous one inactive. Now how you can make that inactive active? I'll show you. First, I'll just double click or right click on the active relationship. I'll just that window will pop up, as you already know. I'll simply come over here and uncheck this, make this relationship active. Okay. And now you'll notice this will also become a dotted line. Okay. Done, right? And about this one, I'll make this one active. So I'll double click onto this and I'll just make this one active. Okay. So this way you switch over basically. Okay. But as far as our model is concerned, as far as this case study is concerned, I want you to do not do this. Rather, I'll just make this one inactive first of all. right? And make the other one active. Hmm. Done. So it's active now. So we'll just keep it like this. I just wanted to show you how it active inactive works. Now, what about calendar and returns? Again, we have the return date available. So I'm going to pick up the date from the calendar table and I'm going to drop it onto the return date into the returns table. This way we are good. Right? Here we go. We are good. Okay, what about product and sales? Do we have something common between product and sales? Now, let me just go through and talk about this. We have the product key available over here. If you see, we have the product key. And in the sales table also, we have a product key. So we can simply pick up this one and drop it onto the product key over here. And we are good. It's building up the relationship. And meanwhile, what about this products and returns? Again, we have a product key common. So I'll simply pick it up and drop. Pick it up and drop it onto the product key over here in the returns table. So there is a relationship between the product and return. So we'll be able to know that, okay, how much return quantity we have received for each product. Through this, we'll be able to know. And all the relationships so far you have seen it's one to many relation and the filter flow is going down. See, that is the reason you may have noticed that I have just put in all the dimension table at the top and all the fact table at the bottom so that we know the control, which table is controlling which one. I've seen a lot of people, they build the model and everything is so confusing in the model that it will become quite difficult to just get into the model. Do not do it. Keep your model always organized. Very much important. Okay. Now, what about subcategory and product? Over here in the subcategory or product, what you can do, what do we have common? If you see, we have the subcategory key is something which is common in these two. So I'm going to pick up the subcategory key from this one, this subcategory table, and I'm going to drop it onto the subcategory key inside the products table. So it will become again one-to-many relationship. Although these two are two dimension tables, but still we can have a relationship. Otherwise, we can't figure out that how much sales we have done in each subcategory until, subcategory is connected to product and product is connected to sales. That is the reason. And again, you will see that how category is connected to subcategory through category key. So I'll simply pick it up. And you'll also notice something. In categories table, the name is category key. In subcategories table, the name is product category key. Doesn't matter. The header, the title of the column won't matter. It is the values which are there inside that column matters, right? So I'll pick it up and I'll drop it onto the category key over here. So this way, again, one-to-many relationship will be there. And by this, we are done with the entire model. We are done with the entire model, right? So one last thing we have to do over here is to hide all the foreign keys from our model. Very much important. So because you know the consequences in the previous video we have already discussed. So I'm going to right click on, or this I can also click to hide it. So anywhere you see the foreign keys, if you see into the sales table, you can simply pause the video right now and try to examine which all keys I'm going to, what all foreign keys we have, and I'm going to hide them. Okay, so then you can match it your understanding with mine. So over here, category key, customer key is something that I need to hide. It's a foreign key because in the customers table, the customer key is something which is primary. And over here, order date, I'm going to hide. And product key is something I'm going to hide. right? And stock date is something I'm going to hide. So we are done with this. And in the returns table, product key I need to hide. It's a foreign key. Return date is also something we need to hide. It's a foreign key. Territory we have already done in the previous video. What all foreign keys we have? Do we have something left? I would say yes. If your answer is no, then look at this part. We have some foreign keys available here, isn't it? In the products table, we have this product key, which is going to be a subcategory key is going to be a foreign key because over here it is primary. So I'll simply click on this I to hide it. Number one. Second of all, I'm going to hide this foreign key also. The category key in the subcategory table is going to be a foreign key. So this is the complete model we have with us, right? I'll talk about one more thing in the coming video. It's already quite a long video, so we'll talk about that in the next video. So I hope you have understood it. I have another suggestion for you. What you can do, you can simply come to the home tab if you want to practice. If you come to the home tab, click on manage relationships, right? And simply from here, delete every relation, everything, and try it your own once again. You can just take a screenshot of this and then you can match it later. So this way you can just practice couple of times if you are new to this view. If you have ever used like MS Access or other DBMS programs, you may know about this concept already. But if you are new, I would suggest you to practice it couple of times. Okay. So this is the way it is. So see you in the next video, right? Thank you.